Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. So it's Necron learning curve, and we're looking at another HQ choice, and this time Nemesor Zahndrekh. I'm not quite sure how to pronounce that, but I like to call him Big Z. Now, first up, you'll notice I don't have the model. This is a Necron Lord that you're looking at, which is one of my converted models. Now, the reason why I don't have this particular model is because it's a fine cast mini, and I'm trying to avoid buying any fine cast models if I can help it. If it's plastic, I'd have it. If fine cast, no, I just don't buy it anymore. So I'd rather just buy old minis from eBay or convert them up than have fine cast. Anyway, so this guy here, my conversion, as I said, with the Necron Lord, he's got the he's got the Staff of Light, and he's got the Resurrection Orb there by his feet. He makes quite a good stand-in for Nemesor. I am, as a long-time Necron player, I am in the mindset of the old days where basically we just had one HQ choice, and that was the Lord. We had a Necron Lord. There was numerous amounts of upgrades that you could choose, but the most popular ones, of course, were things like the Resurrection Orb and the Phase Shifter, giving you a 3+ save, etc. So coming from that sort of background, and then all of a sudden we've got like hundreds of HQ choices to choose from. From my point of view, I almost got stuck in the old ways. I did scope out a little bit with Imhotep, the Stormlord, because he had some really cool features, especially when the Codex first hit and we were playing 5th edition. But to be fair, I'm still almost stuck in the old ways of a Destroyer Lord, and then what's now called the Overlord, which is basically what a Lord used to be like. And those are my two main HQs, and both of those bring a fantastic amount to the table. All the other named characters, they do have some extra nice sort of special features and special rules. But for me, they're not the be and end all of characters. But what they do bring is quite nice, and especially if you have a specific reason for taking them, a list may be built around some of their features, etc., then yes, they can be very good. So I'm just sharing my learning curve with you, so this is just my experience. So Nemesor, yes, I have used him. This is one of the characters I have used. Not an awful lot, but now and again I do use him. I like to use him in my Scarab farm list, what I like to call the Super Scarabs, where basically you use his adaptive and counter tactics that he has. So basically you can take away special rule from your opponent, and you can add a special rule from to one of your units. So adding Furious Charge to your Scarabs, very nice. It's actually a great thing to be able to do. And he was a big consideration for my Flayed One army, actually. Giving my Flayed One's Furious Charge, etc. can be very useful. But it didn't quite make it into the list, mainly because I needed that first turn roll from Imhotep, and I needed a bit of night fight protection as well for my back flanks. So this guy here, he has the Staff of Light. There's no upgrades, of course, being special character, so you are stuck with that. So he's not an amazing in close combat, but he does give the protection with the Resurrection Orb for any unit that he's joined into, and he's got his 2+ save and a 3+ invulnerable save, so he's pretty resilient, but he's not going to do much in close combat. But the key thing with him is his adaptive tactics, stroke counter tactics, which is really useful. And like I said, you can add any of those special rules, universal special rules, to one of your units as well. So you can have Hidden Run, Stealth, Tank Hunters, Furious Charge, Counter Attack. You know, they're all really great things to have. I found particularly useful in the Scarab farm, as I said. You know, if your Scarabs were going to assault, you give them Furious Charge. If it looked highly likely that you were going to be assaulted next turn, you give them Counter Attack. You know, you get the picture. Now he also can bring a little extra fun to your list, to your army, with Deep Strike, because he has phased reinforcements, a little bit like Death Marks. Basically any units you have in reserve, once your enemy arrives from reserve, you can immediately Deep Strike your units in your enemy's turn. Couple that with Death Marks, and couple that with Varguard, which we're going to talk about in the next video. But basically, if you take Big Z, you can take Varguard and he doesn't take up a HQ slot, which is very useful. And Varguard also has some extra duty abilities where he doesn't scatter if he's within 6 inches of Nemesor, so it can bring some tactical abilities to you. And also you can Veil of Darkness, Deep Strike out even in close combat, which you can't do with the current Veil of Darkness Cryptic. So there's a few other options as well available when you take this guy, not just what he can do, but what else he can bring to the army. So next up we are going to take a look at Varguard, and thanks for watching.